K-drama fans, we are the K3, and this is our weekly watch list where we dive into all of the dramas that are currently airing right now and tell you our thoughts are about it. So grab your favorite beverage and let's get started. Monday, Tuesday. Guys, dinner mates. It is over and I'm sad, but so satisfied. Right, Marisa?
I was, because they ended last week with the truck of doom. And we're like, all right, so is he going to be in a coma? Right? He's going to have to recuperate in another country. Like, what's going to happen? Yes. And then they just, he was fine.
Remember when we talked about it last week, we were all like, oh God, what ridiculous trope are we about to go headfirst in? And we both had fingers crossed that we had hoped that they were going to subvert the trope. And they did, right? Yeah. That was just so good to watch. It was so satisfying. It was a little hilarious how quickly he recovered from that because they showed that truck of doom accident from every angle known to man. And I was like, I think he'd be down for a little longer than 2 days. But
I know. It's just like a little bit of rib pain, a little scarring.
That's it. It's a little. But yeah, I was just, overall, it was just really satisfying. I honestly appreciated, I thought they were I will say this. Let me back up. I will say this. The huge tease at the end of episode 15 where he leans in to invite her over for breakfast the next morning. And I was like, all right, score show. Didn't think we were going there. And then when you open up on 16 and he's like, it's rib pains and she's like, none. I was just like, show, you're such a tease. But I thought that it led into 16 really well. And I didn't enjoy 15 as much as I enjoyed 16, which is really, I think, rare for me usually. Usually 16 is kind of just that fluff episode that you're just like, all right, how are we going to get there? I was so satisfied with the way it wrapped up.
Yeah, I was glad that we just got to live with these characters for something meatier, they did it. Wait, they did a time jump though. They did a 1 year time jump.
And I love the way they did the time jump. It wasn't like we just went to a cut to later. They showed all their Instagram photos of all their food. I thought that was so adorable and I loved them so much.
They're so well suited to each other. This was the thing we love through this whole series is that they were two grown-ups. Never mind the dip into her being a little virginal and why would you not? How could you ever say no to him? Right. He's almost too much.
Right.
Too perfect.
Yeah.
But
that aside, because it's not we're not objectifying. It was her boyfriend. It wasn't like we were saying she should pounce on a man she barely knows. It's her boyfriend.
Yes.
Get on
and
that
he loves her.
And he loves her.
Her.
On that now. So yes, exactly. Aside from that, and I wrote that in my notes, I feel like this was one of the healthiest K-drama relationships I feel like I've seen in a really long time. And that even includes Crash Landing on You, which I thought was one of the better ones that we've seen. It was a little, Crash Landing on You, God bless. It was a fantasy and it was very heightened, right? But this one just struck me as you genuinely want, this is what you actually should want in real life.
Well, you talked about them being equals, and that was really so important to this. But also there are other relationships, Doi's relationship with her boss. They were really good friends. And yes, Lee Ji-yoon's character, Jae-hyuk, had some issues that he had to take care of, but that he committed to that. And that was really amazing to see. And
it really was. And then even at the end, what I loved is that our two exes that were trying to ruin everybody's relationship actually at the end had grown enough where they recognized that they shouldn't be at that event and they had lunch together. And I was growth. I really appreciated that a lot.
Mm-hmm. That they recognized in themselves what they took responsibility for the damage they had done. And that's how they found each other. So
So I was really satisfied with it. And I have to, and another thing that I really, really enjoyed about it, where mom was like, I don't want you for my daughter because you know all of her back baggage. And I was like, oh, I feel like that's even better that he's still, even knowing what her emotional issues are. Like, not he's still choosing her because you should.
But don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to hide them.
No.
You know?
And I loved that was what even her monologue was. Her internal monologue as she went to meet him for dinner was, he knows everything about me and yet still wants to be with me, and I still want to be with him knowing everything about him. And so we've chosen each other knowing everything. So we've already seen the word. I love that message so much. So much.
This show, it was just so satisfying in so many ways. And just like, I don't know, for our age group, maybe
that's what it was. But I felt a renewed sense of, dare I say, hope. You know, because it just was, it was just so, it was so satisfying and positive. And I was so happy by the time it was over.
Yes. 2 thumbs up.
Two thumbs up.
Solid.
Absolutely.
Solid series.
Yeah. Next up, to all the guys who loved me before, men are men. I think we're going to maybe go with men are men when we talk about it on Twitter, because it's just a shorter hashtag. So just know that. It's hard to type out every time. And it takes up a lot of characters, you guys. To all the guys that loved me before, it's just a lot longer. It's just exhausting.
No.
But if you guys know me at all, I love a good reincarnation story. I sat through all of Born Again because of reincarnation. So I'm still all in. But Marisa?
Yeah, I think I'm going to drop it.
Yeah.
It's just not, I don't know. I can see why people are really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not, I don't know if it's not, I can't even really explain it. I don't know if it's not moving quickly enough for me, or I need more reincarnation. I'm not really liking how she's playing with our CEO, and I don't like that he's hiding so much and he's just torturing himself for a relationship that happened in the past. And she knows about her past lives, but she seems to have forgotten them. Like they're not talking about, I don't know. It's this show, it's fun, but it's just, I don't know. It's not really speaking to me right now.
Yeah, I can totally see that, because there were some issues I had this week with it. Where I was, again, why is he torturing himself over the past relationship? But clearly he's been looking for her through a variety of lives. I'm like a huge Yoon Hyun Min fan. So he'll carry me for a while just on that alone. I mean, what was that one I watched that even, it was just kind of
Tunnel?
Not Tunnel. I loved him in Tunnel. It was
My Hollow Love.
Yes, My Hollow Love. I mean, I finished that for him. So I mean, that was also a very quick Netflix binge, so I didn't have to wait week after week. I'm not sure it would have lasted if it would have been a standard, week to week situation. But I'm digging the fact that he has been, I don't know, like, he's honest about the fact. The only thing he's not honest about is that he knows her from past lives, where maybe if he said that, she would then be like, what? And so I'm hoping, because maybe because she got sent to so much therapy to get that past life stuff out of her that by her parents, that maybe she's kind of just pushed it back. So I'm hoping that maybe they reconnect. Anyway. But I'm really enjoying it. Her parents are my favorite still. They're hilarious and adorable with all of their weird shenanigans trying to marry her off. And then the evil mom of his assistant, like when she was longingly caressing his picture on the magazine, I'm like, hey, that's creepy. Why are you marrying your daughter? What? So
and who do we think she was? She's reincarnated also, right? So she was just someone who's always had a crush on him?
Either she's reincarnated, or because she seems to be like the age where if she just would have grown up from that time, she would have been her age. I'm wondering if he got reincarnated because he might have died young. Obviously, they had to have died fairly young. And that she recognized him as my thought. Though there might be also I don't know. It's a little messy right now, but I think that's what's keeping me so interested, because I'm like, go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I do feel like they're getting rid of that Dongsang love triangle storyline. I think they're getting rid of that quickly. At least I hope they are, because it doesn't work for me at all. Like, they have zero romantic chemistry for me. He's adorable, but I want him with the assistant. Yeah, it just doesn't work for me at all.
Yeah, that wasn't working for me either. Like, he's infatuated with her. I don't know. I
can maybe kind of understand his crush on her, but we already know it's dead in the water. So let's just play it out and be done with it. So I'm hoping that we're done with it now. because it was 2 episodes of that was enough for me. But yeah, so I'm gonna stick with this one. So you guys let us know if you guys are sticking with it or not, or I'm gonna keep it going anyway, even if you don't like it. You're gonna be stuck listening to me until I give up on it. I didn't give up on Born Again, you guys.
Reincarnation for the win.
Woo! Yeah. All right. Next up, Good Detective. Marisa, I am freaking loving this one so much.
Me too. This show is so good. It's really intricate and the characters are super interesting.
Yeah.
And I love the partnership between our 2 cops, Kang Jo-chang, played by Son Hyun-ju, and Oh Ji-hyuk, played by Jang Sun-jo. They're really good together.
I mean, I literally wrote in my notes, this show's so good, so much is happening. I don't even have notes. Like, my notes were slim because I just was so engrossed, right? Yeah. I was just so engrossed with what was happening because it was just so, we've seen these kind of shows before, like, an overarching crime and people have to, but I don't know what's so different about this one, but I'm so digging it.
I know.
So much.
I think, what is it? I think it's because, actually, I'm not really sure.
Right.
Because the cops, we've got this team of cops who are, they're not very smart.
No.
But maybe they're loyal to each other, maybe not, but they know they're the underdogs in the precinct. And then we've got, our detective Kang Do-chung, who's got this sister who is just, weighing on him, hot mess.
Yeah.
And he's just beaten down because he's the only one of his peers who has not been promoted. And he doesn't always do the smart thing, but it's there. It's there.
Right. And so I love that
and he's
moment.
A hothead.
He is a hothead. But I love that moment. There was a bunch of moments I loved. One that was more serious that I felt really gave us a good way to explain our characters is when the entire police team was sitting around and they announced who was going to be executed, even though they all know that there's evidence now that makes our main our guy who's being executed is possibly innocent. Yeah. And so they all kind of were like, whoa. I loved that moment where you just know the entire team knows this is up. Where usually it's just that one rogue guy who goes off on his own. I love the fact that the entire team is into that. And then my other scene that I just was really into was when he goes to his brother-in-law's house and he brings his partner with him to keep him from killing him. And Oh Ji-hyuk kept dropping shit to every time he would get a little too aggressive. He was doing nothing. He was just hanging out and then all of a sudden he'd break a glass or walk in and be like, hello.
I know.
It's just, these characters are so good. I'm just freaking loving it.
Yeah, they're really surprising. It's so funny that it's not the young guy who's the hothead; it's our older detective who's the hothead. And that Jang Sun-jo, he's very kind of placid, but then he'll totally kick your ass and take down 4 thugs,
right?
4 mobsters. It's really. I'm just enjoying it so much.
Right? It's so good. And then the backstory with Lee Jae-hyuk and our Sang-tae from It's Okay to Not Be Okay, who is evil times a bajillion, right? It's so jarring to watch the 2 shows. It's wait, what's happening right now? Right?
Yeah. Oh Jung-se, he's he plays menacing really well.
So well. He's terrifying. And I love that they just, not casually, but they just kind of introduced him with him just hanging out, being so you're still the same way. Okay. All right. Yeah. And then we finally got our detective's backstory about why he came back. And basically he's loaded. Why we found out he's loaded, he's got this inheritance. And then he was like, but not being a detective, I have nothing else. Money just isn't doing it. And it was funny because then his partner, Kang Do-chung, was like, shut up.
Shut up. Yeah. But he's like, it suits me. It suits me to be a detective. I like that. I also like Elijah in this because she was for a while was just getting the total bitch roles.
Right.
And then in, what was the political show she just did? What's that called?
Was that?
Oh, Chief of Staff.
Oh, right.
I think that was a turning point for her. I think I'm not super well versed in her career, but I mean, because she was everybody was off the wall in Last Empress, but she was just like, she was mean.
She was just
conniving.
Yeah, conniving and just terrible. You're just like, she was like the makjangiest of the makjang. It was like, wow. And that's saying something in that one, in that Last Empress. It was crazy. I will say this again this week. My only complaint, people, we need more Ji Sung-hyun. I'm sorry. Like, he clearly has a story. There's clearly a backstory there. We did find out that his brother is the political, like, he's helping his brother out politically. So that was a key piece of information. But now can we bring him in more? Can we have more of him now? Because I need more of him. That's my only complaint. Because otherwise the show is freaking good.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Next up, Unfamiliar Family heading into the finale, the penultimate 2 episodes. I loved these episodes, but I feel like they're now, I hate to say this because I've enjoyed the show so much and I'm so glad I stuck with it, but I feel like they're kind of almost manufacturing drama now.
Oh, yeah. There's so much drama in this drama.
I feel
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you're okay. All right. I mean, I'm not okay with that. I think I feel like I've been saying this since episode 1. So it's like not like none of the show hasn't played well in those realms. I just feel like maybe that's what it is. I feel like I'm ready for the story to be over. So maybe I'm prepared for the finale.
Yeah, here we are.
And maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, because our maknae, holy cow.
Yeah. Like, what is happening with that? Like,
really, he's just, I guess if people always treat you as the youngest and coddle you and don't really let you have a voice, then you might get taken in by a con artist in Toronto and hop on a plane. I don't know. Yeah. So, there was a lot of drama in this drama.
I literally wrote in my notes, I'm like, oh my God, we're going to have all the feels in this one. Because I was just like, oh my God, there's so much happening. I feel like Kim Ji-suk, I mean, I say this every week. I freaking love him, but he was so his performance was so beautiful and so understated and so
heartbreaking,
wrenching that, and it wasn't overwrought and it wasn't it was just so beautiful. I was just like, oh God.
It's like he's lived with this pain, but he's found a way to live with it through the maknae, and it was just like, oh my God,
it's so beautiful. Yeah, and then his confession to her. And then when she showed up with the ring at the end of 13, I'm like, I'm going to flip a table if this ring isn't something she bought herself. Thankfully, that's what it was. Oh my God. I was like.
Because if she had accepted a proposal out of nowhere from her boss, it would have been like, what? This isn't you?
Yeah. So
nice fake out show.
Yeah, it was. I know. I was like, show, what are you doing? What crazy trope are you headed towards now? And they subverted it. Thank you. Because I was nervous. I literally was like flipping a table, people. Yeah. Nope. Mm-mm. And his confession was just so adorable. Where I even was like, my notes were like, I think he just confessed. He confessed. He did. Oh, I love it so much. Yeah. So adorable. I love them. Can we just talk about the dad for a moment? You don't just go in for outpatient brain surgery, which is how they were making it sound. Like, how do you not tell your children that you are having a brain tumor removed?
I know. And that the mom didn't tell them either. It's like he's been in surgery for like 8 hours or 18 hours or something. You could have picked up the phone and said, screw it. I know what's best for my family at this point.
Right? Like, I mean, as someone who has had a family member have brain surgery, that is not something you keep.
Oh my gosh.
There's just no freaking way to keep that quiet, or you aren't going to be able to slip that under the radar where no one finds out. Like, that's just not going to happen.
Why did we need the mother-in-law to tell her? I'm not sure I understood why that had to happen.
Well, that was odd, but it was, my guess, just from a story standpoint, was to explain why the mother-in-law ignored the mom in the hospital.
Okay.
It made no sense, but for some reason that was the only thing that struck me. I was like, all right.
Okay.
But that's how we found out.
Who knows?
Who knows? I need her husband to find some happiness in his life because he's been living a lie for so long, and I feel bad for her. Absolutely.
But through his own insecurities that he could never talk to his own wife about it. Instead, he would just like put this guilt on himself and like wallow in it. So
right. So I would love to see him at least crack a real smile by the end of it. And like Big Nuna also. Like I feel like they've kind of set up that other patent lawyer as possibly something that's gonna at least break her out of her, her rut.
I guess so. Because his hair was pretty excellent.
Oh, it was. Like, who is that? Who is that?
I don't know. I looked him up.
He looked really familiar.
Yeah. Hair, suit. Not hair, suit. He's not a hairy guy. His hair, his suit,
It is Quan Yule. Let's see. Oh, that's who he is. He was Kang Joon-il in Whisper, which was an Lee Sang-yoon, Lee Bo-young drama that I watched like 3 years ago. And he was one of the evil machination people that they were all going up against. I loved him. He's so good. That's why I'm like, why am I like, I'm nervous. You make me nervous, but yet what's happening right now? That's why, because he was so duplicitous in Whisper. That's how I know him for sure. Oh. And it looks like he was also the dad. He was King Yi-ho, who was murdered by his brother in King Eternal Monarch. So he had like a quick.
I can't remember him. And
yeah, he's like he had like a quick cameo / guest role because he got
was
murdered.
The king. Oh, okay.
Yes. So heading into the finale, Marisa, I don't think Dad's dead. I
hope not.
I hope not, because that would be horrible. What a horrible. That is not. If Dad was going to die, I want him just to have an aneurysm and be gone and do that. You don't have surgery and then have all your family in there and then flatline and then die. Like, I just feel like that's extraneous amount of tragedy. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying from a story standpoint, I feel like I'm hoping it is more a appreciate what you have moment.
I hope so. Everyone. I hope so.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Heading into the finale, these things need to happen for me. I need Little Nuna and Kim Ji-suk to just get it on. Need it. I need our Mangne to come back and, like, find his own life. Because whatever he's doing right now is not working. And then I just need Big Nuna to just break free of it all and just be as happy as humanly possible.
Yes.
Do you think that's possible? Do you think it's possible in this show? Do you think I'm going to be happy next week when we have this?
Well, I think this is why, because these storylines are intense, but this is not a makjang. So even though it's got all of the storyline hallmarks of that. Mm-hmm. So yes, I think that it's not going to end in a melodramatic way.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Unfamiliar family. Come on now. We had dinner mate stuck the landing. Come on. Let's make it 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Let's do it. Yeah. All right. That was Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday. She knows everything.
Did you watch them all?
I did. I binged them all in one sitting.
Ooh.
I'm not sure it was the best move. I'm not going to lie. I thought the second and third episodes were so intriguing to me and like Knives Out, like everybody had a motive kind of murder mystery going on, which was so enjoyable. But unfortunately, I felt like at the episode 4, it kind of floundered on sticking the landing of where all those threads led to.
I was, I think just having it 4 episodes was really good. Mm-hmm. Like 16 would have been way too much.
Way too
much.
And
then it would have been. So it was so intricate in these episodes as they were building for your understanding that they actually all know each other and why they were doing these horrible things, like and what their motives were and how it all just came crashing down on them.
Right.
I don't know. I just kind of moved through episode 4 and I just, at the end of it, I was like, wow, that was a really satisfying crime drama.
It really was. I think maybe for me, because we all know me, I get hung up on the weirdest shit, right, Marisa? Like, we know this. Like, the dumbest thing will just make me go, wait, time out, no. And for me, I just felt like the old couple was one red herring too many. And we had this whole side story of them going to commit suicide, and then they didn't die, and then what happened to them and what happened to their apartment. Like I got totally caught up with what was happening with this old couple, because I just felt like they were just one, for me personally, they were just one red herring too much in the whole scenario of it all. Oh, and they had this daughter that needed money, and they needed money, and then the wife had dementia, but then suddenly in this very poignant final scene, she was completely lucid to the end. And I was a little, it kind of threw me off not the whole show, but I was kind of like, wait, what?
Oh, because I saw it as just this ripple effect of pain.
Okay.
Where if they, if this is what, and she, who's our female lead, Kang Sung-yeon, playing Gongbak, that if you can't hide the truth, you cannot pull this nonsense and think that you can keep it buried. That you can't, the cover-ups don't work. And so I just saw this as this ripple effect that it went into places and affected people in such harmful ways that they could never have imagined when they first, tried to cover up what they did. So
yeah, okay, that's a much better way to look at it, because I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Like I was like, and maybe it's because I binged it. Like I literally was just like locked in for like 4 hours on it. That I was just like, wait, what? Time out. What's happening right now?
That's heavy duty.
Yeah. So maybe I should have just taken a break. So if you were thinking about watching it and you like a good crime drama, do not watch it in all one sitting. I do not recommend it. But I really enjoyed it. Like the second and third episodes they threw so much at us that it was A, almost hard to keep up, and B, like it was fascinating to watch all those threads like play into each other. So I hope they do kind of some more of these short ones, because I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, I definitely did.
And our next one up is Into the Ring. I freaking love this show. My notes are so minimal because I just start watching and I'm just like, yay. Like I almost like pause it and like wander off because I don't want it to be over. Like,
oh, you're stretching it out. It's so good.
I do. I mean, unfortunately, I felt like our girl this week, KOCOWA, she was a bit much. Like she was a little aggressive. Like, why are you always hitting him? Like, stop.
Oh, yeah, she really pushes him around.
She really does.
But that moment where her dad walked up on them and she like pushed him into the chain link fence and it just rattled. Like,
I mean, like, it was hilarious. That's what I'm saying. Like, those moments don't bother me as much as like when she like takes him out at the knees and he falls to the ground. Like, I'm kind of like, what are you doing? So, I mean, that aside, I'm loving this show. Like, Park Sung-hoon is just becoming one of my go-to favorites because I've always really enjoyed him in the things that we've seen him in, but there's something about him I can't turn my eyes off of him. He's just so enjoyable.
It's a different kind of charisma that, is kind of reaching out to you from the screen. Right? He's so good.
Yeah.
And Nana, I love her so much. I love her quirkiness. I love how she stands her ground. I love her tenacity. Mm-hmm. And I love how she takes no shit and she plays, she's like, fuck it. Why not? I'm going to, I don't even know. She's so refreshing in that way.
Right.
And I love that she's also like, why not me? Like, why not?
Yeah, I did. There is something about her that is just, she is our standard plucky, K-drama heroine, but there's something, again, kind of talking about like Good Detective. Again, there's something there that is different. I don't know if it's just Nana's performance of it, or if it's the script, or if it's a combo of the two, or if, again, it's the fact that her and So Gon-myung are equals. And so there's something about them being equals fighting the power together that I find so refreshing about it. Maybe that's it.
Oh my God, the patriarchy.
Right?
Show.
It's just, and then poor So Gon-myung, when his dad showed up at dinner and he was so just crestfallen that it was just, and she went after him and they've been friends though I think it's hilarious that she's his Nuna. There's no freaking way. He's like, what, 8 years older than her? Like, I'm like, I mean, they don't look that wide apart age-wise, but I think it's hilarious. Anyway,
Yes.
that's just an aside.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that he like thinks she's like the weirdest, but he just adores her anyway. Like he's always like when the boyfriend was like, "You're always so much," and she was like, "You always would tell me to not be so much," and I thought it was you were looking out for me because you didn't want me to get hurt. And I find out, and she's like, I'm realizing that that's not what it was. And then when we turned it around, and he said, "But that's always who you are, and that's what makes you you." I was like, oh, my heart.
Yes.
It was so
I
beautiful.
know. And I love that she stopped and was like, oh my God, he gets me.
Yeah.
That was so good.
I loved it. And then when she texted him like pictures of her eating like every hour to kind of just, I love them so much, Marisa. So I knew they had crazy good chemistry, but their chemistry goes beyond just that visceral, like they're hot. Like, I love them as friends. I love them. I want them to be a couple, but I also love this weird, like, flirtation they have.
Yeah, because they're having this kind of childish fun with each other and all of the behind the scenes stuff. And every time she gets a lot of coffee trucks sent to her on set, and how she's just playing not just with her, but also let's see, who's our young Kim Hyun Mok, who was also in Justice.
Yes, the young brother. Yeah. Yeah.
So they're just, it's coming through on screen how much fun they're having.
Right. Oh my God, I do. It's just such a fun drama. And her and her friends and the little boy that she used to babysit when she was like, hey boss, hey former boss. And he's like, no, I like my new babysitter better. Like, and he like hugged her and she was like, you stay away. Like, I love the whole dynamic with all of our people. It's just,
yeah. It's so quirky. Love it.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Graceful Friends. Not really sure what's going on in this one. Though I know exactly what's going on. I'm just not really sure why it's going on. And I'm only probably going to stick with it because Caitlin says it's so good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. How about you?
I couldn't get through the first episode.
Yeah. I got through 2. I still have to watch 3 and 4. I have to say this. An Gung-chol, who's kind of our main husband of the group, he's too much for me. Like, there's something about him that I don't trust because he's just too much. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a character choice that will play out later. And thank God they opened the show with the murder, like the super cut of the murder investigation. Because if they hadn't, I would have been out like halfway through episode 1 because I'm like, I hate these people. I hate every single one of them. And so I'm intrigued enough to kind of see where the story is headed. So maybe catch up a few other episodes, but I need us to get to the beginning of the opening murder. I need us to get there fast because we haven't gotten there yet. And so I need whoever is dead to be dead so that we can now unearth all of the college secrets that are now going to come to the surface and see what happens. Yeah. So if you're watching it and you're digging it, let me know what I'm missing. Because again, I tried to binge it and I just couldn't. I got through 2 episodes and I was running rapidly out of time for other shows, and B, it just wasn't. I honestly can say I was not really enjoying it.
I don't know. There's certain times of the year where there's so many shows that we talked about this before that you kind of have to be ruthless because there's only so many hours in the day that you can watch. So,
and also, I mean, again, when we do this show, like I have so many notes that some of them, my notes don't make sense. I don't even know what I'm talking about because I watch so many shows and I'm like, I'll write something like, yikes. Yikes what, Jen? What does yikes mean in the context of this show? It's like, I don't know. Yikes. So that's my note. Yikes. So there it is. There it is, you guys. My notes for episode 1 and 2, Graceful Friends. Yikes. But I will say this, that Golf Pro he's tasty.
Oh, Tae-hwan.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Yeah. He was Park Seo-joon's brother in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim.
Was he really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The novelist.
Yes. Oh, okay. That's why he does look kind of familiar. But I was like, oh, hello. He's also a member of, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, Five Prize. Is that how you pronounce it? Because Caitlin's been blogging about them on our blog over at the website all week. So if you want to know a little bit more about them, go and check it out over on our blog. Because I didn't know anything about him, and I used her blog stuff all the time. It was great. But yes, he was a revelation for me. So thank you. Rumor has it he'll be dead by the end of episode 4, and he is our murder suspect. So I'm sad to see him go. But thank you for the pretty. And he's a bad guy. He's definitely a bad guy for sure, because he keeps setting up our main lady, who is our K2, Sung Young-ah. Oh, I love her so much. She's such a badass. She's just so fierce in all that she does. Even with that kindness, she's still fierce about how kind she is. I love it. So Nam Jung-hae, you think I would remember this name because the husband said it 8,000 times. He kept calling it my Jung-hae, I'm like, oh, good God, stop. Anyway. Yes. All right, graceful friends, guys, let me know. Next up, It's Okay to Not Be Okay. We are headed into the final episodes. We're on the back half. We're in 9 and 10. And whoo, boy, lots happened in these episodes.
Yeah, they didn't go to Jeju Island though.
They
Usually
did
that's
not,
where they go,
right?
when they take a little break. So,
Right.
I like that I was so happy that he was trying to find some freedom, but I think I've kind of figured out how I can watch this show, because the fairy tale I thought was how I would watch it, but that wasn't quite right. And they don't really touch on fairy tales that much.
They really aren't, yeah.
No, but I think for me, like, she's all id, like she's all, instinct and desire, which is why she has the most amazing wardrobe. And like, I just kept staring at her eyelash extensions this week. She's just so gorgeous, and all her fashion. Oh my God, her shoes. You die for all those shoes. Right. And but on the other hand, he's all super ego. So so when it came back around and he's feeling all this guilt, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so. His Kim Soo-hyuk, his emotional breakdowns are just so. His acting is like amazing. Oh my God!
That scene with the two brothers at the end of 9 was. We all saw it coming. We all saw it coming. The second Sangtae said she can have Mangtae but not Kangtae, we all saw that coming, right? But it was just so well done, and it cannot be said enough how amazing I think the performance that Oh Jung-se is doing with Sangtae, that you understand so much of what's happening. I'm loving that performance so much, and the brothers and how they're relating to each other, maybe not finally, but finally being honest with each other. And I'm loving that whole dynamic of the brothers so much in this show.
Yeah, it's such an interesting hospital setting. Like, I've never seen so many, mental health professionals stand around, and not engage
at all. Like, let's just let it play out. I'm like, hey. Oh, anyway. But I am loving, what's his name? Kim Chang-won as Dr. O. Like, his kind of quirky ways of getting things done. Like, but I really I do kind of enjoy a lot of his tactics, for lack of a better word. So I am enjoying
a patient spying on the other patient.
Well, that's hilarious. And I love they sit down and have soju, and he's like, it's a spill. Yeah.
In the linen closet.
Right? It's just so odd. But I enjoy it so much. Like, I do enjoy that. And then I was also gonna say, I think unfortunately Jung Yeon-nam is being wasted.
Yeah, there are a couple of actors in this show who I think are being that we're just not seeing enough of, because Jang Yeon-nam,
and Park Jin-joo, as the assistant.
Yes. I mean, I thought there was going to be more of her when Sangtae was creating his art. I thought, because she's the creative director, so I thought there would be more. But instead, there's just a lot of Kim Yi-kyung making dinner for everybody.
Right. And I have appreciated Kim Yi-kyung coming out of the kitchen with the knife.
Just holding it.
I loved it. I do. I
Yeah.
will. I'm also going to say this. I need more Jae-soo in this show because he is the best friend in the history of best friends. Like I love him so much. So loyal and so kind and so just everything you want in a best friend. Like I'm loving all of that so much.
Yeah. Korean pizza is fascinating though.
Fascinating.
Like corn. Yeah. Like I know corn is used in different ways than we eat it here in America,
right.
so North America. So yeah. So that's
I'm hoping they have a gluten-free option when we finally go because I do want to try it because I feel like I need to try corn on my gluten-free pizza.
I saw something today on Instagram. It was a different pizza chain. It wasn't Pizza Al Volo, but it was a hash brown crust.
Oh, shut up.
I'm serious. Yeah. So if you give Jen a potato crust, are we good?
So good. So good. Are you kidding me? I would live on that. Hash browns with pizza toppings? In all day, Marisa. Also, this show also showed me we have to get to that shaking bridge. We must go there when we finally go.
I was just going to say, we have such and the beach was beautiful. Right? Like I have such a long list now. Like such you and me driving around the Korean countryside trying to find these sites.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. COVID, you need to go away. Oh my God. Yes. We're supposed, in case you don't understand, if those of you out there, we were supposed to be there right now. So if Marisa and I are a little bit more angsty about it, it's because we were supposed to be doing that right now.
I know. Our list is growing now. It's places to visit.
Right?
So it's like,
it's just very sad. And then, because I'm just going to keep complaining about it, Lee Sang-yoon, who we all know is one of Jen's favorite, is in a play right now running in Seoul. And we could have gone to see that as well.
It's so
All right, but on with our show. Sorry for that aside. Okay. But yeah, there's just, and the mom finally shows up. So we're pretty confident that that's who she is, right?
That was a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
The T said something about lots of plastic surgery.
Right. Which is the only way that she was, I guess, not being recognized. Maybe.
Right. But I guess she had amnesia. I'm going to guess she had amnesia for a while and then only recently found him in the psychiatric ward.
Right. I'm intrigued by next week. I will say this, and I thought it was hilarious and yet upsetting that my two least favorite characters had the two biggest nuggets of wisdom in this entire week episode. We had our girl Namju Ri dropping the nugget of, as we tell all our patients, you need to find your own happiness before you can make someone else happy. I was like, yes, thank you. That's very key. I think that is a lovely piece of information that Kang Tae should take to heart. You need to find your own happiness.
She needs to take her own prescription there too.
Absolutely, completely. But I appreciated that. I appreciate it was said. I'm not really sure I appreciated who said it, but it was said, so that was good. And then out of nowhere, our wackadoodle CEO, Lee Sang-in, Kim Joo-hun, drops this nugget of like, love comes in various forms. You can't rank it. You can't rank people like that. Yes. People are people. They're all the shades of the rainbow. I'm like, what is with my least
number us?
Yeah, I'm like, what is with my least favorite characters being the smartest ones this week? What is happening? But there they were, dropping nuggets of wisdom that I really, really enjoyed and feel like we all can take into our lives heading into yet another week of what the hell is happening in our country.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. That's right. K-dramas, we need you more than ever.
So much, right?
I know. Like, oh my God,
Even today, I popped in with my sister. I'm like, hey, am I missing anything? Because I was watching all my drama, getting caught up on feed. She's like, oh, just this. I'm like, great. I'm going to go back to my dramas. Thanks. Gotta go.
You know, got to put reality aside for a little bit longer.
So again, thank you all out there for sharing these little pockets of release that we have. So if we can be there for you, that is what we love to do. So let us know how you're feeling down in the comments below. And our final show for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think is my new crack show. Unfortunately, VIKI is so slow on the subs that it's making me crazy. So maybe it's just that more than crack. But Train, freaking love it, Marisa. So good.
Really?
Yes.
I like it, but I'm not like crack levels.
Oh, I'm crack levels on it. Maybe I don't know what it is, but I just thought the setup was so good. His angst was so good. We knew she was going to die. It was so good. Like, I was all in, and we know that freaking train is coming any minute now to whisk him to another universe. So in.
Yeah. So we watched episodes 1 and 2, and then we're hoping that VIKI subs. We know you're all volunteers. We love that you're doing it. VIKI, you should be paying them for all of that work.
It's so much good. And another thing that I love about VIKI subbers that I wish other shows would do is like they sub the songs, they sub everything that we read. So you're so helpful.
Context.
Yeah, context. You give us like historical context or like cultural context of phrases and whatnot. You guys are the best out there.
Yeah.
It's just so slow.
No.
It's just, we want you to get paid for all of the amazing work you do.
Yes.
So anyway. All right. So I thought it to be crack levels. Did you enjoy it at least?
Oh yeah. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I am so curious. I can't wait. Like, is he and his doppelganger, are they going to be like together in the other world? Are they going to be,
because
like that's intriguing to me.
It seems like the doppelganger is the murderer, right? So
it seems like
I'm so into that. Like, I can't wait to figure that out. And here's my next question, Marisa. Is he going to be able to time travel to save his love in another universe? Or does he romance the one in the other? Can't wait. Can't freaking wait.
Yeah.
Can't freaking wait. Because OCN originally, correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like the original description they gave us was that it was his wife that got killed in one universe, and so he was going to try and save her in another. Yeah. But that's not what happened.
No, and she's not his wife.
No.
Now
it's been it's been changed to his love in one universe. And so it's been modified a bit. So I'm curious about that.
Yeah, but it was a love with strings. Like that's
so much guilt and things piled on top of it, and like lies and
lies. Yeah,
so
boy, they hid some big secret from her for a long time. I'm not really sure. Yeah, could have slipped it in at some point. But anyway, that's the drama, right?
But that's the drama, exactly. Oh. Yeah,
it's good. It's good.
And I'm fascinated by it. It's also in the description, so I don't know if they're gonna stick with this or not. But it's that's the moment that the universe split, is when that decision was made to not tell.
Oh, that's intriguing.
So I'm intrigued by that. Yeah,
I really want to dig into it more because, like I said, I liked it, but I wasn't like, oh my god. But,
I was definitely on the. Like, I couldn't even take notes. I was so into it. And Yoon, I don't dislike him, but I do find his acting style sometimes to be a little bit over the top. But he's so freaking good in this. So freaking good.
I mean, it totally makes sense for this storyline. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So I love it.
And now,
as we do every week,
we have our top 3 moments.
Yay!
Yes.
Number 1.
Oh, this makes us so happy.
Right.
But we're sad that Dinner Mate is over.
Right.
But, the ending.
The ending. It was so perfect. It was the perfect callback. I almost was hoping that it was the same 2 guys from The Player who brought the food out.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
And then that's how he proposed. Like, he already proposed to her over food. Like, food was their thing. And I just love that continued to be their thing. All the way to the end, where they started back at the same rice bowl that they started with. Oh, it's so beautiful. And that beautiful shot with the sun.
Man. It was beautifully done.
It was so beautifully done.
Favorite.
It really was. It was. Yeah. Thank you, Dinner Mate, for such a satisfying show.
Yeah.
Thank you. And number 2.
Number 2, Into the Ring. The relationship she has with her dad is just so, they're so alike that they just butt heads. But he loves her so much that he fries her eggs in the shape of hearts. And then in the same breath tells her to get out of the house.
Right? And then the whole bit where she thought he was having an affair, but he was actually driving. He was a night driver just like her, both to earn money. They're so much alike. And it was just so, and that their sword fight with their forks.
It's like, they've been doing this for her entire life. It's just it's so good. The connection is so good. They're so enjoyable together. Yeah,
absolutely. And number 3.
Ooh. Kim Ji-suk. My Unfamiliar Family. Did it break you?
It did. Like we said it when we when we talked about the show earlier, but his performance was just so real and organic and heartfelt that you almost saw all of that, all of what he was saying as he was saying it. Like, it was just, I got really, it broke me.
So this is when he revealed what happened to his younger brother and why he doesn't have a driver's license, which was the funny that got you into this heartbreaking revelation. So his emotion was it was so visceral and just
it really was. I don't think we give Kim Ji-suk enough credit for what a good actor he is, because he can play that and then he can do the weird wacky comedy as well. Like, he's got that range in that, and I just have really enjoyed him in My Unfamiliar Family, and that scene just really solidified it. I mean, forget about the hands in the pocket, like, that's hot. You add that, I'm done. Like, he's always, I've always really enjoyed him, but it's always been for more of the wackier roles. And this is the first time that I've just been like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you guys, there they are. 3 favorite moments from this week. What were your 3 favorite moments from the week? Let us know in the comments below. And until next time, we are the KThree. I'm Jen.
I'm Marisa, and thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting. We love reading all of your comments. This is our K-drama chat.
Yeah, we love it so much. And if you're also into K-drama astrology, we just dropped our Scorpio Astro Corner if you want to check that out. And that's going to be right here. And we'll see you next week. Bye.